All right. Welcome to the Mobile Mayhem weekly recap show. We've got a big one this week because we had huge games for North America this year. Absolutely huge games. And the big news coming in to the Mobile Mayhem tournament this week was the announcement of the content creator team. The content creator team is a new introduction to Mobile Mayhem, and they even have a slightly adjusted rule set. So we've got a lot going on this week, especially given that addition. There's some controversy with that, and yeah, so we're going to get into it. So, going to go over the rules again for Mobile Mayhem, just in case you didn't see any of the casts or last week's weekly recap show. So, for the rules on Mobile Mayhem, we've got all gun skins allowed. Hive, Transform Shield, and Ballistic Shield are banned. Each player has to use a different operator skill. Now, you'll see, and if you watch the cast, you noticed in the content creator team, a couple of people both started with Annihilator. As long as only one person uses the operator skill of that type on that team in the game, there's no disqualification. So if two people have Annihilator equipped, but one doesn't use it, they're good, but only one person can use each operator skill each game, and then the NA-45 is the only weapon banned outright. Trip mines, mollies, and thermites are banned. UAV, counter UAV, care package, and hunter killer are banned. Limit to 2 drone RC cars per team per game. All forms of akimbo are banned. Persistence and tracker are banned. There's no banned character skins, no banned gun skins. And here's where we have the adjustment of the rules. There's a ban on tablets, except for the content creator team. Now, there's plenty of controversy associated with allowing the content creators to use tablets. There's plenty of controversy there, and I get it, right? Because I use an iPad. There's a reason I use an iPad. It feels better to me. I feel like I have more access to my buttons. I've got big sausage fingers, and they get in the way on a phone. But the fact of the matter is that phone is the name of the game when it comes to competitive Call of Duty Mobile in both official Call of Duty Mobile World Championship play as well as Mobile Mayhem play. So an adjustment to that is going to cause some controversy. But the purpose behind that is that content creators spend most of their day every day developing content for YouTube, for live streams on Trovo, Twitch, wherever. And that takes hours and hours and hours and hours away from their day, right? You have content creators who spend 8-10 hours a day building content every single day. And so these content creators on this team have a significant lower time available to practice because the pro teams practice for hours and hours a day. So while pro teams are practicing, this content creator team is busy with content. So the expectation that they change devices, adjust their playstyle accordingly, and get to a competitive level is a bridge too far if they're to keep up their content production. And the point of bringing in a content team to Mobile Mayhem is for the publicity. Good for Trovo, good for Mobile Mayhem, good for exposing everyone in the tournament series to more viewers brought in by those content creators. So that's the full explanation of the logic behind the content creator team, allowing them to use iPads. Looking at you, little B. Looking at you. Allowing players to use iPads brings some advantage, and you'll see when we get into it, Little B absolutely just shredded the field with the ACOG Arctic 50. So, yeah, there's some controversy, but it makes for good gameplay. It makes for plenty to talk about, and that is an adjustment to the rules for the content creator team. Got a ban on persistence as well, and then each team's able to ban 1 gun and 1 map game mode combo per matchup. 250 points for Hardpoint, Hackney Yard, Scrapyard, Summit, and Crash are those maps. 100 points per round for Domination, Hackney Yard, Summit, Standoff, Raid, and Firing Range for those. And then Search and Destroy with a 6-round limit on Standoff, Raid, Meltdown, Firing Range, and Crossfire. So that's our rule set. Scrapyard's a unique addition because it was removed from rank play months ago, so that's an interesting one. And then, yeah. So we are going to get into the gameplay from this week's cast, this week's tournament. It was exciting, and I'm doing a little bit of a different way to review gameplay here, so you guys will have to let me know what you think of how this goes. I actually edited all the casts and the streams down into what I think is indicative of the gameplay. So we're going to go through that with some commentary, and yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think about all of this. It was exciting, the addition of the content creator team, and Tribe Gaming, as always, showing up to play. So we're going to get into the gameplay, starting out with Team 11 and Nova Imperium. 11 up with an early lead in the hardpoint game.
Hacks as well, and definitely the kind of plays that we expect.
We saw Team 11 go up, but this was a close game and tied up for much of it as they progressed through the gameplay here.
Actually picks up the kill onto Bye again, and that will be enough for them to take a look.
On Scrapyard, so many of these walls are wall bangable. You saw so many wall bangs in these matchups, and it was very difficult to hold down P1 throughout the entirety of the game. As we move forward here, we saw Team 11 really pick up their gameplay and get some good points down on the hill with their hardpoint hold with P2 and P3, and we're going to continue to see them progress through this game. This was a closer matchup than we expected, given Team 11's performance in the first week, but they really showed up to play and put Nova Imperium into some difficulty in this hardpoint game initially. You see up 171 to 115 here in this matchup, and Zai is just absolutely shredding with the Tempest. We see a lot of Tempest gameplay in this tournament with operator skills. It's been really effective for people as that long-range shotgun, one-shot kill effect. And this finishes up Team 11 with the hardpoint win, 250. Nova Imperium not able to break 200 for that matchup. Going into the Search and Destroy, again, started out very even between Team 11 and Nova Imperium, with Swag having great production throughout the entire game. We saw a lot from both Yuji and Parka on the Team 11 side, and then Swag, Hacks, Wally, all getting it done for Nova Imperium.
He finds a double kill right there, 10 kills on the board for him through 5 rounds. What a game he's having so far. Bye-Bye's actually going to spot him and doesn't manage to land a single shot. Just like that, Vitaly is left all by himself. He is going to pick up a sniper. Misses what looked to be an easy shot right there, and more than likely that is going to end up costing him as he does try to make the push over toward the cover.
Watching through this round, tries to get the plant in here, but Vitaly was stuck in a 2v1 and had nothing he could do there. Team 11 getting it done and going up. This is the point where 11 went up with the lead in this matchup. And as we see here, 11 again with some momentum. They're up 5-3 after a couple more rounds, and we see Swag absolutely getting it done, making it impossible to be anywhere in the open with his snipes here.
The jump shot onto Zai. He turns onto Parka. There's only one player left for 11, and Nova Imperium staying alive. It is usually on the backside of that van of what he needs to do.
And then Nova Imperium, huge point in this matchup, was able to come back. Nova Imperium comes back from being down 5-3 in the Search and Destroy matchup, and as you see the round end here, they go up 5-5. They were able to come back with 2 rounds. Hack's trying to get the plant and is in a 2v1 situation, trying to hold it down for Nova Imperium and just can't get it done at the end. 11 and Nova Imperium had an incredibly close matchup despite the 2-0 sweep, and 11 came up on top with this one. Nova Imperium putting up a great showing, and Team 11 surprising everyone after going down so hard to Tribe in the first week. They come back and get it done. So the next matchup we had was Zygnus and Aura. Zygnus out with an early lead in the hardpoint, and Aura struggling to hold down time on the hill, but keeping it somewhat close. So as we watch through this entire matchup, Loyal is a player to watch. Loyal and S-Thug, both on the Zygnus team, have incredibly high production, and Loyal in week 1 and 2 really showing up to play. We had a lot of action from Main Mike and Jingo on the Aura team, getting plenty of frags in this game. And then, you see So-So up there with 23 kills. And Aura came back. They were able to get time on the hill, push the score, and take the lead, and cross 200 points, start to dominate the end of the game here. And so Aura with a big comeback victory in the hardpoint game over Zygnus. Exciting games this week, lots of comebacks and plenty of third games in these matchups. So we see Aura up from the first game. Zygnus was able to get the first round in the Search and Destroy matchup, but yeah, we're going to see how this one continues to progress, and I'll let you listen to some of the commentary from Bobby and Day.
Wait for him to make the push. He's going to slide in. He does get the kill. He needs a two-piece. Jingo just has to play time right here. No need for him to challenge. He's going to be able to get
Ninja with the great effort picking up the two-piece, but not able to get it done, and Aura picks up their first round in the Search and Destroy. We move forward in the action a little bit here. We've got Zygnus with 3 rounds to Aura's 2. In a 4v1 situation, Riots was able to knock down one, take down a second one, takes the 4v1 to a 2v1, but can't quite get it done. And Aura ties it up 3-3 in the Search and Destroy. Moving forward, Zygnus with a couple more rounds. S-Thug trying to get it done, gets a couple of frags, but goes down, and it's a 1v4 situation for Bear here.
Obviously, you've also mentioned it was very back and forth, and Aura made that very clear here as 4 bodies drop within like 2 seconds of each other.
An extremely close matchup with plenty of back and forth between these teams. Aura bringing it back, 5 rounds to 4. Jingo going down at the end of the match, and Zygnus picking up the win in Search and Destroy. This was our first. Here we go. The first game 3 of the night we saw in that first set of matchups from Zygnus and Aura. Getting into domination. We love to see domination on firing range. This B point is so crazy. Zygnus went up early with the 150-94 lead and continues to try and push that lead and lock down B. But Aura has 2 points here. So this, again, this entire matchup was incredibly close between Zygnus and Aura, with an unbelievable amount of back and forth and crazy action from both teams. Crazy action from both teams. Zygnus up 173-132, starting to push their lead here.
He's going to get 1 kill, nearly gets 2 from the top side, not able to land the second shot on Aura. They're doing everything right, everything that they need to. 5's going to push in. That's going to be really big with the Sparrow. It shoots so fast, he shuts down the A. We got Riots pushing back in himself. He really, really needs to get
crazy Sparrow action on the point there, dropping the trophy to immediately have it exhaust both of its charges.
I don't think there's enough time, even if Aura gets the triple cap right here, for them to be able to close this one out, and you can see time taking
a crazy ending here. Neither team getting up to the required 200 points, but Zygnus coming out with the win as time expires, 182-170, an unbelievably close third game between those two teams, and an exciting matchup. Going into Tribe Gaming versus Nova Invictus. Now, this was more of what we expected to see from Tribe Gaming, with Tribe up 191-86 here, absolutely dominating the play. Bolu with his performance, as you expect. Slothy fragging out. Flows, Marshy, everyone on this team with high production, and Nova Invictus struggling to deal with the pace that Tribe can put on the game here. They're all over the map, they're difficult to nail down, and then they group for those gunfights to make it extremely difficult to take down these Tribe players. We saw a lot of skill, and Nova Invictus putting up a solid fight, getting the frags in when they could, but it was just too much for them to deal with Tribe, and a performance that we have come to expect to see from Tribe at this point, with a dominating victory in the hardpoint game over Nova Invictus. You see the score here at this point was 236-111, more than double the production, and Tribe finishes it out with some action here on the point.
Doesn't matter how far you run, you cannot hide from the man on the hill. Marshy's going to close things out right here.
Tribe with a big victory in the hardpoint over Nova Invictus. Getting into domination, this game was, again, heavily in favor of Tribe. We're going to let our video catch up here just a little bit. Tribe dominating the Search and Destroy as well, seemingly with their gameplay, but they went down early to Nova Invictus, and it took them a while to pick up the lead. But Bolu with the shotgun, absolutely tearing it up in those close range engagements. At the point, where Tribe is up 5-4, was the first time they took the lead in this matchup. Playing off meta guns, you see Bolu with a shotgun. We had multiple shotguns start at the beginning of this matchup. Maybe a troll, or maybe just a demonstration from Tribe that game skill, coordination, comms get the win, and it doesn't matter as much what gun you're playing with. You can have all the arguments you want about what's overpowered, what the meta looks like, but when you see Bolu running around with a shotgun, getting frags and winning games, at some level, game skill matters more than all of the comments about the meta and what gun matters most. So Tribe putting on a show here and finishing up this matchup with the final round in Search and Destroy.
Right now, Bolu's got a shotgun in hand, and that's going to be a terrifying thing for Nova right here. They are on the backside looking to make the push in. He's not giving up any type of an angle. It's actually going to be Band taking out A-Flows. But Bolu with the shotgun finds the two-piece right there. Slothy takes out Band, and that is going to be a Tribe Gaming win.
Big win from Tribe in that game. We saw dominating play and off-meta guns. Now, Team Fierce versus NL Esports. NL Esports went up big. NL is one of the favorites in this tournament. One of the better teams, recognized for their skill and performance in the past, picking up a couple of players, and they've got 177-73 lead here, dominating hardpoint on Crash. Got a sentry gun out, picks up the sentry gun, Fish puts it by the hard point, pointing right at their spawn.
Unfortunate to watch as things going wrong left and right for this Fierce team. Only one more hard point likely to be needed for NL to be able to close this one out. They just seem to be doing everything right. Everybody in double digits. Raven
NL with excellent performance throughout this game. All of the players fragging out, and you see Team Fierce able to close the gap a bit, 214 to 179 here, but NL Esports on the hard point consistently. Team Fierce really had trouble locking down any of the hard points for any long period of time or chaining together hard point success, and you see NL Esports coming in with the final hard point break here.
They are going to need to hold.
And that's bad spawns for bad.
NL Esports picking up the spawns on the final hard point in the corner here. A very difficult hard point to break and closing out the game between NL Esports and Team Fierce. NL with a big victory here, and they're going to move into Search and Destroy, definitely as the favorite to win. We'll see what Team Fierce produced in that game.
By Fierce as they attempted the in once again for NL, completely uncontested. Forsaken on the outside, just trying to find picks here and there. He's going to see the laser go
early. NL Esports, you see up 3 rounds to 0 in this game.
I believe that's actually Envoy that he very
excellent production from the entire team. You look at the whole team. Fish with 6 kills. 4-3-3-3, everyone on the team with production, and we have 3 goose eggs from Team Fierce up to this point. So NL Esports just winning gunfights, and those individual gunfights determining the outcome of the game. You see they're up 5 rounds to 0 here in this final round of Search and Destroy against Team Fierce. Fierce struggling to put up any production in here. Forsaken and Hoshi Dog with the only kills on their team. 8 total kills, where we see Fish from NL with 10 all by himself. A huge win for NL Esports over Team Fierce this week.
3 goose eggs on the side of Fierce.
That matchup went about as we expected, with NL Esports having a ton of production so far this season.
I mean, right now, Mayhem is...
We go into the Trovo Mayhem game. So we're going to pause it here and talk about this. We have players on iPad, but the whole team is not on iPad. You still see Tectonic and Vague, I believe, on phone. And so we have players on this team that are not on iPad, but WWW0WWW is Godsley. And then we have Tectonic, Little B, Noah, and Vague as the roster for the content creator team starting out. They had 2 matchups on the first night of gameplay this week because they missed the first week as that team was forming. A reminder, rosters are not locked until week 3. Here we go.
Kills on the board for this exiled team. Little B by himself has 6, so If I had to guess, this could be a pretty lopsided game. It looks like no.
In this game, Little B by himself caused the controversy to start here. This was the debut of the Trovo Mayhem team, and you started to see some comments in the chat during the live stream about iPad, people disagreeing with the content creator team being able to play on tablets. The content creator team also is not subject to the substitution rule, although we haven't seen them push that at all yet with normal substitutions so far. Now, Little B with the ACOG Arctic 50 absolutely laid it down this game. You see him crossing 20 kills at that point, more than the entire total of the exiled team. Little B was fragging out, and his numbers started to climb, the rage climbed in the chat as well. An absolute killer Pred missile from Little B there, bringing him up to 24 kills in this game. And you see the hard point score, 120-15. Absolute no contest when it comes to content creators versus exiles at the start. We wanted to see if exiled could get it together in this game, but Little B about to cross 30 kills at this point. He's got that ACOG Arctic 50 and was absolutely slaying with it the entire game. Noah putting up great production early, getting out some score streaks, but you can see the content creator team, that number of kills. We have Seraph with 10 kills, 11 kills on Exiled. Godsley with the fewest number of kills on the content creator team, also at 11. So the top frag from Exiled matching the bottom frag from Team Trovo Mayhem. It's going to be a tough matchup. Anyone matching up with Team Trovo Mayhem was a little bit concerned at this point, seeing them absolutely just put it on Exiled. Noah with the death machine out, a Goliath on the hill, about to die with Tech and the Goliath almost dead there. Total domination in this game. You see Team Trovo Mayhem pushing that score almost with the victory, more than doubling Exile's points on this hard point. I'm interested in what you guys think about the Trovo Mayhem team, some of the controversy with their tablet use. It was all over the chat. I'm perfectly fine with it. I like to see it. Now, when we got into the games with Search and Destroy, we saw more of the same from Trovo Mayhem with a dominating performance over Exiled and Search and Destroy. You see them up 5 rounds to 3 here, and this was the last matchup. Or excuse me, this was the first matchup for Team Trovo Mayhem. This cast on Tuesday finished out with 2 matchups between Trovo Mayhem and other opponents in NA leagues here because they missed that first week of gameplay. So we're going to see Mobile Mayhem go through their games with Exiled and then immediately jump into their second matchup of the night that night.
Not spotting anybody over on the right side. I'm not sure what that predictive wallbang was right there. Lethal's still alive as well. This is definitely a doable situation, but not when you give an easy frag to Tectonic right there. Lethal's going to get the snipe onto Godsley. Hits the follow-up onto Vague as well. He's now in a 1v1, but he needs to get the defuse right here and doesn't have a whole lot of time to do it. He's going to have to stick the defuse. He hears the footsteps of Tectonic. He's not going to have enough time to get the frag.
Great production from Lethal and
zero sweep in their first
a couple of other players on that Exile team really trying to get it done and finish out that matchup. Not able to. Tectonic finishing out the Search and Destroy for Trovo Mayhem. Now the next matchup was Trovo Mayhem versus Strikeforce. We saw Strikeforce put up a little bit better production than Exiled in this hardpoint on Hackney Yard, but Trovo Mayhem putting up the numbers again. Hua here with a great effort on the hard point, but at some point their team just didn't have the spawns. Hard point taken with those gravity spikes, and Team Trovo Mayhem picks their momentum back up. It was a closer game than against Exile, but Trovo Mayhem here with 231 to 174, needing a hard point break to finish this game out. And Noah with the diamond chopper out, ready to put the hurt on the team there. Those long-distance kills just spraying with the chopper. Take the hard point. And Trovo Mayhem putting up more of their expected production throughout this matchup. At this point, most of the viewers were concerned about whether or not Trovo Mayhem was just going to run through every team in Mobile Mayhem NA. Their production was so high, fragging out, kills everywhere. You see TECTONIC with 30 and Little B with 33 in this game so far.
Taking the shots, he's going to actually beam Noah off right there, but Little B waiting to avenge his teammate. Hua having a great game so far, 26 kills on the board, getting the rest of the scrap time. That'll get them up close to 200, but this is not going to be an easy break to get. They don't have a whole lot of time to do it right now, as he's looking to make the push in. Vague
Hua doing everything he can here to try and bring his team up to victory. 26 kills, but they just could not get it done there at the end. Too difficult, a hard point to break with Godsley there with the War Machine.
This is going to be Trovo Mayhem getting their 3rd straight game win as they take...
Trovo Mayhem with 3 games in a row. Strike Zone Search and Destroy was next. Hua opened that matchup with a round win, excellent shots, and started to question whether or not Trovo Mayhem was going to get beat, but Trovo Mayhem then took 5 straight rounds in Search and Destroy. 5 straight rounds to bring it up to 5-1. A dominating performance again. Godsley in trailer here, trying to hold down that A point as his teammate plants. We've got a 3v2, a 2v2 now. Hua trying to save the game for his team after 5 rounds dropped to Trovo Mayhem. In trailer, they've got 2 out back. It's a 1v2. Hua going to try and get it done and keep this game alive. Throws the smoke out, has 18 seconds to be able to defuse the bomb. Comes out, but he's out in the open with good fields of fire and angles from both Godsley and TECTONIC. And they finish that one out with a 6-1 victory. Big wins for Team Trovo Mayhem in week 1. And in their first 2 performances there, put them up to the top of the leaderboard at Trovo Mayhem. So these teams, you get extra points for the sweep. And with Team Trovo Mayhem sweeping both of their first 2 matchups, that brought them up to 40 points and the lead in the North America Trovo Mayhem series. Getting into the second night of gameplay on Thursday, we saw matchups between Zygnus and Nova Imperium. This was an exciting matchup here, and Zygnus is out early in the hard point with 100 points to, or excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We saw Zygnus and Nova Imperium match up with their first game 3. Extremely close games on hardpoint and Search and Destroy between Zygnus and Nova Imperium that pushed it to a game 3 early in the Thursday cast. This is game 3 with the domination. Zygnus up 100-80, close games throughout this matchup. And given the team's performances up to this point, we had no idea who to favor between Zygnus and Nova Imperium here. Both teams with some strong performances. And yeah, this one was extremely close.
Wally does have his Goliath, so that is a potential B cap for Nova if they're able to get it out.
For a spikes from Bye-Bye, and we do see more consistency across the board for this Nova Imperium team, but the top fraggers for Zygnus really showing out right now, and that is going to be what allows them to go ahead and retake that B flag.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, you know, the FHJ making good work.
Now, in this game, there was a crazy amount of back and forth on the point takes. Forsaken here at the start with the ASM 10, or mid game with the ASM 10, absolutely started to slay out for the Zygnus team, allowing that B point cap and a spawn trap here on Nova Imperium to give them the space to hold that B point for long enough. And then the Sparrow, loyal with the Sparrow, dropping the sentry gun for the team.
These guys are frying. They get the triple cap to finish the game. 30 for S-Thug, 30 for Forsaken, 30 for Loyal. The cluster strike goes in. Absolute dominance to finish.
You saw a huge finish.
And they will take game 3.
Zygnus pulling out with a 2-1. 2-1 victory and huge production from the team there at the end of domination. Our next matchup with Team 11T and Nova Invictus, we saw another matchup pushed to game 3 with extremely close results. You see here in the domination game, we have a minute left in game 3 of domination between Team 11T and Nova Invictus, 182 to 168. Crazy close game between these two teams.
time. Some progress in on the B flag. Nova Invictus has to hold this for full time. The double cap, that is, if they're going to be able to close it out. But a very heavy push coming in from 11D. They take the B flag right there. Just and Zai, both above the 30 kill mark. Yuji with 28 on the board. And right now, it's looking like 11T is in the position they need to be to close this one out. They've got progress onto C. They got Yuji pushing through, taking shots onto Lewis. He can't get the kill right there. He might still get the cap. He doesn't get it. So close. Zai slides on. He gets the finish right there. Double cap goes back in for 11D. That's going to be all that they need with Wiru struggling down at 7 kills. It doesn't matter. Yuji just Zai, all at 30 plus.
Huge win with 3 players on 11D, over 30 kills to close out that game 3 for that matchup. Now, next we saw Tribe Gaming versus Strike Zone. Bolu again with the shotgun, coming out to a big lead over Strike Zone on hardpoint with 182 to 58. Bolu between the Annihilator and the shotgun, fragging out this game, 23 kills up at this point, and just terrorizing the Strike Zone team from their spawn with that Annihilator. He carried around a Goliath this game for a while, didn't even need to use it in order to maintain that lead, and Strike Zone struggling to put points on the board against Tribe Gaming here. And at this point, it looked like the Trovo Mayhem Tribe Gaming matchup was going to be the matchup to watch in Mobile Mayhem, with Tribe having such dominant performances, and the first two matchups between Trovo Mayhem and opponents going so heavily in Trovo Mayhem's favor. This looked like the matchup that we're waiting for. As Tribe Gaming progressed in this game, you saw points go over 230, with Strike Zone still below 150 points. Bolu pushing with the shotgun, getting the kills, picks up the AR, and Bolu fragging out on this Strike Zone team to get it done.
That did not end up working out well, as Saints actually ends up getting the frag with the Annihilator. Only a 7.
Certainly an uncomfortable position.
See here at the end of the game, Tribe on the hill with 240 plus points to Strike Zone's 151. Bolu still getting it done with the shotgun, and Tribe finishing out a dominating hardpoint win over Strike Zone. Tribe completed that with a easy search and destroy to sweep. We get into Trovo Mayhem versus NL Esports. Trovo Mayhem up 240 to 159 in this matchup. Did well on the Summit hardpoint game to beat NL Esports, but a close game. NL Esports challenging Trovo Mayhem more so than either of their previous 2 opponents, and putting them into some difficulty here to be able to win this hardpoint, even with a challenge at the very end there. But Trovo Mayhem got it done in the hardpoint matchup versus NL Esports. Going into Search and Destroy, we see NL Esports up 2 rounds to 0 here, coming back and pressuring the Trovo Mayhem team.
Double kill, and once again, NL with a man lead. Envoy barely staying alive right here. Fish trying to find the last couple players. Aerith by herself. She does find Fish. She needs another 2 and a defuse. She takes out Cheto right there. Envoy on the backside. He's trying to wait to play time. He may have played it a little too long. I'm not sure he heard the sound. She's going to get the defuse.
Aerith, you
right
see
there.
the crazy clutch ninja defuse, getting the kills and getting the defuse before NL Esports can react. Now, NL Esports finished that out and won the Search and Destroy over Trovo Mayhem, which pushed it into a firing range domination game. And you see NL Esports out here in front, 159 to 140.
Into the triple kill from the
Trovo Mayhem at risk of a loss here and struggling to hold down domination, struggling to get it done. We saw B-Nates Gamer and Aerith sub in for Little B and Godsley.
To make the comeback happen. There's only 10 seconds left on the board. Even if they were able to get the triple cap right here, they don't have enough time. They weren't able to get the control early enough on, and it looks like NL
NL Esports coming out with the win over Trovo Mayhem. Excuse me, subbing in for Noah, not Godsley there. So we saw Noah and Little B drop in order to sub in B8's Gamer and Arif, and Team Trovo Mayhem loses that matchup to NL Esports. NL Esports getting the extra 5 points for the win over Trovo Mayhem. If you beat the Trovo Mayhem team in a sweep, you get an extra 10 points. You get an extra 5 for the win over the team in a 2-1. So those are our NA matchups. We've got all of the results coming at the end of the show from NA, EU, and Latin America. And like I said, in future shows, we're going to be adding in additional gameplay commentary and results from EU. So look for more of the EU gameplay coming in the future. As soon as we have the ability to pull all that gameplay together, we want to show you all the highlights from EU as well, and then eventually Latin America, South America. Now we're going to go into our interview portion here. We're going to see if we can get TECTONIC on the line. Okay, awesome. We got TECTONIC here for the interview. Thanks for hopping on the call with me, man. I appreciate you making some time and coming on to talk about Mobile Mayhem.
Yeah, man, of course.
So the big thing for this season with Mobile Mayhem, and especially the big announcement this week, is the Trovo Mayhem team made up of content creators, and you're one of the notable names on there, coming off of the MVP for the North America Regional Championship team with Tribe. What are the big differences in play style between Trovo Mayhem and playing with Tribe at the end of last year?
The thing about Tribe is that, I was with those guys for almost a year, just about, I'd say around 8 to 10 months. I was grinding out with these guys every day. And so the play style, of course, is going to be different. It's not something I'm used to. And especially if you're looking from like content creator standpoints and a pro player standpoint, they're always going to have like a different outlook on the game. So I kind of like have to change up my play style a bit to accommodate for those play styles, because at the end of the day, Trovo Mayhem is, for Mobile Mayhem, and it's like a content creation team. It's not exactly your standard pro-to-pro team, but I mean, it's full of talented players that could definitely do well. So it's kind of like, just in such a short amount of time, can you place these pieces in the right spot?
Yeah, that's a good point, is the difference in practice time between a typical pro team and Trovo Mayhem. I mean, you're probably practicing as a team, 5% what you would practice with a normal comp team?
Yeah. So back in Tribe, we used to play like every day for about 5 to 6 hours a day, usually from like 7 Eastern to about 12 Eastern in the morning. So we were pretty busy if it was VODing, if it was playing different teams. And then that was a daily thing that I was accustomed to. And then now with the content creation team, we'll only play like Friday, or no, not even Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and it'll be for about 2 to 3 hours. So I have to make up the play time.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's interesting is most folks that watch or kind of casually watch streams don't realize the amount of time that goes into practice and development of different strats and accounting for each individual team member's strengths that go into how you're going to go about like team matchups. I mean, in normal comp, you'd be studying different teams and looking at their strengths, and like that level of depth of preparation, it just isn't really available for a content creator team.
No, it's really not, because everyone's still going to have to make content at the end of the day, because that's their life. That's what these big names do. That's their job.
That's also a big part of why they're on Trovo Mayhem is to make the tournament more visible. And at the end of the day, I think the content creator team does a great job of providing additional exposure for every player in Trovo Mayhem.
Yeah, of course, and there was this big argument
or Mobile
about,
Mayhem,
the content creators being able to play. But really, it was just Little B on the pad. I think everyone else is cool with, the guys getting them on the pad, I'll be honest. But
Little B on the iPad. That's that point of controversy, man.
It's not even that the content creators are on the pad. It's just that Little B's on the pad.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I told the comp players, I was like, guys, this is for exposure of y'all. This is here to benefit the comp scene, not the content scene. I mean, they're here to play. They're not taking anything serious,
Yeah, absolutely. So, Yeah, that was the big point of there's obviously going to be some controversy when you've got differences of opinions, and the iPad exception for the content creator team. I mean, my opinion is that the difference in availability of time to practice and the difference in like how plugged into each strategy content creators are going to be, not having the same comp history, not having the same time to put in the work together, and that totally accounts for the difference. But man, in that first game with the Trovo Mayhem team, you guys lit it up, and Little B with the Arctic 50 was vicious that game.
Yeah, and that was kind of the uproar of everything.
Yeah, that's when the whole chat started going crazy.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was crazy because we played Strike Zone and Exile that day, and Strike Zone, they opted to ban the LK, which was a gun I was using, instead of banning the Arctic 50. And Little B's over here like dropping about to be a 50.
Yeah,
I'm barely passing 20.
Yeah, it feels like they might have tried to nerf the wrong person for that map in that game mode, huh?
Yeah, and then I just gotta do my thing.
Yeah. So speaking of guns, you've been playing with the LK. I love the LK with how stable it is mid to long range, how consistent it is. Is that one of your main guns that you're playing with right now? Are you playing with any others regularly?
I would say the LK is like my core weapon recently, because everyone's been like pushing away from the 3-tap metas.
Yep.
So I have a HVK just in case the LK does get banned. But for the most part, like, it's the LK, like, versus the Man of War versus DRH. You know, if people opt out to not ban the ASM, I'm still playing against these 3-shot weapons, and the LK is competing with it. That's what I love about it. It's like the gun that nobody, wants to use because it's not named as the 3-shot meta, but it's still such a powerful gun in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the LK a lot right now because it feels stable, the recoil is easy to control, and then that ADS bullet spread is one of the best in assault rifles. And the 3-tap meta is great, but if you don't hit every shot, then that whole super low time to kill goes right out the window. And if you've got a consistent gun that doesn't have crazy bullet spread and easily controlled recoil, that LK fits the bill. And if you hit every shot, it's a fast kill every time.
Yeah.
But so on the content creator team, what are some of your goals in content for this year? The first part of 2021.
So I did take a break from YouTube because I was focusing on the free agent thing and what I was planning to do for this upcoming month, since I was no longer in Tribe. So I'm trying to get back into that. I think I'm gonna take more of my streaming matches and post that as gameplay. So I think I'm gonna make my channel more focused on comp and do something that I like, rather than focusing on like a majority, like how Godly and Noah do their content. It's more for a public, and then I'll base mine more for my likings and for the comp scene.
I like that, man. I think that's missing in content that's out there. And the typical content that you see in COD Mobile is for the vast majority of the player base, right? And most people who have this game aren't really focused on the highest level of competition, and but there are hundreds of thousands of people that are, and there's not a whole lot of content on technical strategy, on implementation of different techniques that work in competition. So I think there's a great niche for you in content there, and people are excited to see it, man. Your level of performance has been at the top of the world in the past couple of months, and people want to see what's going through your head and how you play out these strats. So that's exciting, man. And it'll be good to see something a little bit different in content. But you mentioned practicing with Trovo Mayhem and the time, and I think that's one of the big questions we saw a lot of people say. But we saw some funny questions from the chat and the stream, and one of them that comes up all the time is, what do you think of the current state of the game? And what is the biggest area of improvement you'd give the development team?
I think the current state of the game is going pretty well. I know a lot of people, whenever Gunsmith was implicated, it was hated by a good bit of people. But I really think it's a good add-on, because I enjoyed Modern Warfare whenever I played it. It was one of the few games that I actually got into whenever I first started college, and just like having that kind of correlate to COD M, something that I've also been playing since like the start of college, basically. It's good to basically have the memories come back and all the different kind of weapon builds you could create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if there was,
I love that part of Call of Duty Mobile is the nostalgia from all the previous titles.
Exactly. Black Ops 2, even Black Ops 1, Nuketown, like it was all.
That's what I'm talking about, man. My biggest title in Call of Duty before this is Black Ops 2, and to see all the stuff they bring from previous titles, that's what makes the game fun, and that's like the new gun skins and different things that they drop. If you've got 10 years of history playing Call of Duty titles, then it brings a different feel to it, you know? Yeah,
it does.
So going back to, I guess the rest of that question is, what do you think an area of improvement is in the game? A lot of conversation about desync and stuff like that, but I don't think it's not massively negatively affecting my experience in the game, but everybody's got something where they're like, man, I wish they would fix this one thing.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people complain about desync, and it's not something that I usually feel either. I even bought the Ethernet cable just to make sure that I never get that. But if there was one area of improvement, it would be to stop messing with the movement, because I have to take like 2 weeks of every like new start to this new movement, because I could feel the little minor changes they do to it, and it bugs me so much. Yeah,
it's like they change the way the slide starts coming out of prone a little bit, and you're like, all right, well, here's another week of figuring out my new movement.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's going like, oh, tech fell off. I was like, no, I'm not used to this. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm back on my game.
Yeah, it's like everything takes a little practice. Give me a minute there.
Of course. That's what people don't understand sometimes. The practice you put in to understand things is always going to be better for the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the areas that where I play the game, I like chilling and playing the game, not on stream, not necessarily trying to record for some specific thing, maybe jumping into some battle royale games, and I play a lot of that with my kid. But I every once in a while I'll have a couple of beers and play, and this is the reason I'm bringing this up is one of the questions from the chat is, have you ever played after a few beers or under the influence, or have you ever competed like that? Does it affect your gameplay, or what's your experience like with that in COD Mobile, maybe on a late night?
So there actually was a recent experience, and it was actually right before New Year's. So I was drinking about a week before New Year's actually started. So I drank all the way till January 1st. And so what happened was I was still scrimming with Tribe, and like I was under influence of intoxication. I was basically like borderline feeling myself about to be on my way to getting drunk, because I'm not big on beers, but I do drink pretty heavy liquor. And and Louisiana, they have daiquiris, and I know some people, they ask what daiquiris are, but it's basically like an alcoholic slushy. And
yeah, they have like drive-throughs for daiquiris in Texas and stuff in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I drink one in particular that's like jungle juice, and it's like gin, vodka, even sometimes Everclear if you add it. And I also like to get like 3 extra shots, because I always drink pretty heavy liquor for like the jungle juice years.
The jungle juice slushy, you hear it, that's Tech's secret weapon. Couple of sips of the jungle juice slushy, and he's slaying out with Tribe.
I actually feel a lot better whenever I drink. I'm usually pretty hyped. I enjoy playing the game a little bit more, but does it affect my gameplay a little bit? Yes, because I remember Zim was spectating me, and I pulled the war machine and I shot it at the wall like 3 times. And
you saw somebody who wasn't there, seeing ghosts.
I thought I flicked over far enough, and I didn't even adjust. It was terrible.
That's funny, man. Yeah, that's the thing about mobile games too, is that you can play them in any different environment. You see Ferg out there on the rocks near the water in Ireland, playing out there in a field somewhere. And I mean, that's the thing, man. Sitting, having a couple of beers on a Saturday night, playing some battle royale games, and my 7-year-old son is out killing me by like 10 kills. I'm getting a little bit too relaxed, I think.
Oh, my girlfriend will out frag me sometimes.
Yeah, you stream that one, and she's gonna start getting contract offers.
Oh, what?
That's funny, man.
I stream with her sometimes, where me and her relaxing, playing some rig. And there's a lot of times where we just take like an hour or 2 out of her day and just to play together, because she loves COD. And that's something that I really respect about I call her my old lady, but it's not old, but like OL, and she's fine with it. So
Yeah, that's
she's
awesome,
kind
man.
of been an
That's
awesome support because she also plays CODM and she loves the game. And I was like, to have someone support me in that sort of way in a relationship is like a big factor for me right now.
that's great, man, to have that. And that kind of goes against a lot of the typical culture around gaming, and the classic, it's fading away culturally now, but the classic like time spent playing video games is wasted time. You could have done something better with that time. I mean, I've been playing video games for 30 years, and to me that like it's another fun thing to do with family and friends, and that's why I love mobile gaming so much, because it's so accessible. I've mentioned playing with my son plenty of times here and on the stream, and being able to enjoy it with family members and friends, that's awesome, especially when you're playing at a high level and there's somebody there that kind of gets it and can support that. That's cool to hear, man.
Yeah, I love it for sure. Like I kind of started gaming back on like console, from my mom's ex actually. And he kind of is who got me into gaming. And I remember my mom would see me on hours on the game, and then she would tell me like, you'll never make money from this. And like every time I go into a tournament, I remember them words, and I remember people that doubted me and kind of like set me back a couple times. So it's always been like a push forward.
Yeah,
I wanna
definitely.
prove a lot of people wrong at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's cool when you're there and you're doing it for real, and then you have people around you that are like, yeah, man, put the time in, put the work in, go get after it, and get the practice in. It feels different. It's good, man. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, my dad was definitely one of my major supports in gaming wise.
That's great, man. Well, hey, yeah, thanks for jumping on and talking to us about Mobile Mayhem. It's excited. Everybody can't wait to see the Tribe versus Trovo Mayhem matchup. That's going to be an exciting one. And
I just hope Little B's on the pad.
Heavily contested. We're gonna see iPad Little B at his Arctic 50 shine.
I hope so. There's rumors he's going back to the phone. He's even streaming on the phone right now.
Yeah, hey, he's back and forth. We're gonna have to see what happens. We'll see if Leader B comes out.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. Well, hey man, thanks again for the call, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun season with Mobile Mayhem, and we're looking forward to the content you put out.
Hope y'all support me along the way.
We're gonna go into the play of the week. Here we go.
To make the sprint flips, but Angel is sitting by that egg glitch. It's gonna be hard for him as he's throwing the grenade as a pre-fire. Greaves will be finding one with a Predator missile. And what we like to watch in these games is how do they even go for the sprint control. Grizz is pushing aggressively. Renvei is sitting right there. It's going to be one shot, straight turnaround coming from Grizz straight into Penna. Almost gets the third, and he will get it. And another one, Grizz with 4 frags in a row. Even the spectator mode was glitchy. Finally.
And that was it. Absolutely insane shotgun play from Grizz as our play of the week. We're going to come out with multiple clips with you able to vote on a top 5 here pretty soon. But Grizz with the insanity with the shotgun, he did in that game what I was trying to do earlier on the stream. A brilliant performance from him, and we're going to be bringing in more EU commentary and results going forward. And we will be back with more streams this week. Again, if you want to catch me streaming COD Mobile, it is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturdays at 11 a.m. when I play with viewers, and Sundays at 10 a.m. I stream leading into the weekly Mobile Mayhem recap show here at noon. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. It's always a good one. And again, we'll come back with the tech interview after this. Modsix out.